be diverse? Because the world is diverse, you stupid mother...
Like this nearing, like I don't like, oh my god. And you see, who she's talking to? She's talking to customers. These are the gamers, the people who buy the games, buy all the do all the in-game purchases. Those people who making like billions and billions of dollars for those companies.
If you have not subscribed to Alboa Cinema, this is where you will get everything. So subscribe. Subscribe.
So now, karibu to Alboa Cinema. Now this is weekend videos because this week I've been off. Nimekuwa na kazi ile day job production hizo, nilikuwa kwa studio huku doing some lot of editing work, which I'm very grateful for. Big up client. So now, there's something I've been talking about, especially this coming from the West, of course, but it's here with us. It started to influence a lot of how we tell our stories. It started to influence a lot about our culture. As it's always been, the West has always wanted to do that. But this particular ideology, in my opinion, is extremely destructive. I've seen Hollywood take it up and just basically they're destroying themselves, unless of course they can pivot and come back to the light, So this is based on a video games. Now why there's a push for what we call wokeness or progressivism, Western progressivism in gaming. But this goes across everywhere, movies, music. Okay, maybe music not so much because musicians are crazy. But it's there. It's there in terms of the politics and whatnot. And it's gone through every facet of entertainment. So this is, of course, we understand that these are major cultural shifting, how can we describe them? As tools. Music, art, culture, it affects the culture. So I want to react to this video from Pada. Pada is one of these gaming channels and whatnot. So how I kind of am involved in this is because we do a lot of projects on Unreal Engine, which is the biggest gaming engine, but also use it for animation. So, but slowly we'll be transitioning into the gaming also. So it's also good to look at all the other businesses that we can do in this creative industry. Gaming is also is the biggest money maker in entertainment. Even movies don't even close. So it is good practice to know what's going on in the biggest markets, the biggest producers, which is of course Asia and America. Now some and Europeans also. So I wanted to watch it, so I'll be giving the commentary kama kawa. So I think it might be a long one. I don't know if I'll watch all of it, but let's see. Right?
There's a crazy push for wokeism in gaming right now. It's clear this isn't coming from...
And that's in movies and everything else, but even in workplaces, not just in entertainment. But this is so much not... Most people are not really recognizing it because it hasn't hit us as much as it has hit the West, because that's the epicenter of it all. So it hasn't hit us as much, but now it's coming. You can see all the NGOs and the activism. You can tell. For example, when a woman is killed, they call it femicide. When a man is killed, is what man? I find that weird. That they come out saying 100 and something women have been killed, but there is no corresponding figure for men. It should be natural, yes? Somehow one's life is more valuable. Anyway, to delay. But that's actually where all that cultural phenomenon comes from. So
majority of gamers like you and me, and it's clearly not something your average gamer even wants in games. But unfortunately, it's still having a massive impact on the companies we once loved and trusted.
And it's a weird thing because it's the most powerful companies, the most powerful financial institutions that are actually funding this thing. So it's not like a grassroots movement. It's an elitist movement that people are imposing what under the guise of, we want diversity, inclusion, and under that guise, they are, how do we say, they're injecting their own little things and controls here and there. It's it was subtle for a while until it wasn't. Now when they start all the other ridiculous things. But let's continue. I'll continue because this subject, watch and expand it.
What's fascinating to me is that there doesn't seem to be a clear or logical reason behind this drive. Gamers aren't stupid. We can see that this goes beyond the simple call to diversity and inclusion, especially when the...
Yeah, you can't call it diversity and inclusion while you exclude other ideas. But it's a weird thing they do. I hopefully mention it.
push itself often frames gamers as the villains. But why is there a push there?
Yeah, the customer
and why
is your
is it
villain.
so clearly
The customer,
self-destructive? I've spent a lot of time the last few weeks thinking about this, and one idea keeps...
But then you guys see the way games look these days. Like technology, whatever the hardships, even some of us, like, we see what we're able to achieve on Unreal Engine. I'm telling you, it's something else. Actors chunga sada. Hey, because some of these characters almost look
keeps coming
real.
to mind that I would like to add to this conversation. I've been trying to wrap my head around people like Alyssa Morcante, Matt Hansen, Kim Balair, and Cameron Wild, your typical drivers of this destructive narrative in the gaming industry.
Yeah, but they're woke when you see that bull ring. One of the markers of being woke. Bull ring, colored hair. Tattoo mingi saa zingine, although I do have, like, but me I just have hair, and I got them when I was old, when I knew what I was doing.
What's driving them and many others to this radical push for wokeism in gaming? The more I look into it, the more I see these insane bombshells that come out of nowhere, like Cameron Wild stating that their mission through Sweet Baby Inc. is to burn the gaming industry to the ground.
Just so we're clear, this is a real slide. We want cooler stories, a safer world, burning the game industry to the ground.
Or Alyssa Morcante.
So Sweet Baby Inc. is one of these new companies that engage in they offer consultancy services on the right cultural contexts for things. So they bring in their work. They're like, okay, you need language sensitivity. Don't say this. It might make some person there feel bad. But really, it's just them. It's not the world or what. Because they've set arbitrary standards by themselves and now impose on the rest. Like, for example, they say how Africans, we want certain things, how in a certain way, or what, because we are black, blah, blah. And these are white people in the West who are constructing all this. But and we fall for it primarily because it's heavily funded. If you think about it critically, a lot of times you see all the pretense and all the political machinations of it all.
An ex-senior editor of a gaming journalist company, Kotaku, physically threatening critics of DEI.
And that the games industry is diverse naturally. Not because anyone...
I told you, you can see here, bull ring. Okay, she has the Lebanese haircut. See this Lebanese haircut. If you know, you know. And also that sneer. That, you're better. Better.
One's making them be diverse? Because the world is diverse, you stupid mother...
Like this sneering, you know. Like, I don't, like, oh my God. And you see, you know who she's talking to? She's talking to customers. These are the gamers. The people who buy the games, buy all the in-game, do all the in-game purchases. Those people who making, like, billions and billions of dollars for those companies. This is who she's talking to. You know, like the arrogance. Because how do you keep on talking about how you want diversity and your empathy and what? And this is what you meet. Because every single time you meet this condensation, this smugness. You know, why are you being smug? Well, Nani, by the way.
And if you have a problem with that, come fight me. Physically.
Oh my God. I told you, Mona is my tattoos. I told you, they have more tattoos than is necessary. All this is called being an attention seeker. You want to look cool and you want to be different. They're not different, so they have all these weird pronouns. Not nonsense. They're trying to be cool, but they're really not. You know, they're just whiny babies who have a sharp mouth. And you see, social media made a lot of these people feel brave because you don't have to face. You know, she talks like this to people live. Some girl is going to slap her silly. There's a problem. Also, they think that they speak for everyone. It's really something
Or Kim
else.
Balair, the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., receiving praise at a conference after proudly declaring she's the one pushing for wokeness and killing the gaming industry.
I am the crazed CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., the
They're so arrogant, I'm
DEI-obsessed
telling
censorship
you. They're so
mafia who is
smart.
currently ruining and wokeifying all of the video games that you've ever played.
While
Who
she
are
said
these
it as a joke, it came across as forced sarcasm, an attempt to deflect criticism while seemingly still making her intentions
people are
clear.
not funny.
Another insane bombshell would be Matt Hansen openly promoting the illegal practice of excluding an entire race and gender, white dudes, from being allowed to apply for a job at
I find that weird. I know that many of you guys are already falling to this. Oh, colonize white people, but I know. I don't care. But it's such a weird thing. If you just take 2 seconds to think about it, it's like imagine saying you're oppressed and white people are destroying you, but you can easily just kick them off AAA games. So how are you oppressed and you can do that to them? Come on now. We know all this is talk. All this is language. It's language that's hiding the true intentions. People want to take over things without having to build them. So they come and say, oh, I am this and that. So you need diversity. So you need this quarter of my kind in your business or in this or that. They don't want to do the work. Because many of them who they claim, even if they say I'm gay, I know I've seen, and there are so many of these gay people in Hollywood who've not really used that as their main thing. And they've made it good. But the ones with no talent and don't have the work ethic, of course they're going to jump on this. So yeah, so hii inaendelea kuongea ndio mkwe rada. Msikwe mafala hapa just doing things because it sounds nice or because it will give you some few coins. While you are, the people who make us rich are customers, not activism. Okay, there's some 1 or 2 people who will make money off activism, the top usually, but the entire value chain can only be fed by the customer. So anyway, I'll continue.
Reminder to black artists out there who are looking for portfolio reviews or job advice, my DMs are open and you will always have my priority. We got too many crusty white dudes in this field. Please let me help you replace me one day. I want to go back to living in the woods. Then go do it. I feel like that'd be better for everybody.
What?
You see that thing you see, it's a white person saying, I want all these black guys, I want to give you opportunities over these white guys. He's white and he has the job. What they're doing is virtue signaling, you heard it. So that them they're in position, they're making their money, but they want to be your conductors and prefects. My black people, come, I give you some little morsels for you poor people. I don't know why so many black people don't see the condensation. I'm so good. Come. The thing is also they think that you can't compete, so you need their help to make it. So they say, no, you can't compete with these white people. They are horrible. They're also excellent. That's what they're not telling you. But they're horrible, so I'll give you a chance so that you can fight. Do you know that they've dropped standards so that some black people can get in there? It's not because black people can't get in. It's because their type of black person, the person who follows this wokeism, can't get in on merit. Because they're active. Activists don't work. They don't build anything. And this is a business. So you don't need them in the business. You need workers. And you need planners and managers and people who know these things, who can execute efficiently and on time. But this other person, because they're coming on social media posting that up because somehow that kind of racism is acceptable in the West. Some of you even do it just openly. I find it particular. So many people get surprised when they start talking shit about white people. And they think I'll just accept it because I'm black, some of black solidarity. Same person is not paying me for my shit here. Same person can't give me any business of around here. Corrupt as hell. Same person. But they think, oh, solidarity black. No. It's character over color. Every single time with me. I know some of you have those comfort zones. I'm black, we'll stick with black. We'll stick with your mediocrity over there. For me, I deal with everyone and every single race. It doesn't matter. So long as you have an honest bone in your body and you work honestly. tuko pamoja. You might have different views, but we are working hard and trying to build something. Those ones don't have a language or anything. The work is work.
Why does this exist? Even though it's so clearly damaging the reputation and sales of the games or companies they push their agendas
of millions of
Personally,
dollars.
I believe this
imagine
is a
talking to customers like that and thinking they'll buy your stuff. Like the arrogance, it still astounds me. It's something else to behold. Like, what's wrong with you people? Like, it's serious.
The moral issue.
Na wengi wenu mnapenda hiyo kama, you know, if I wasn't so nice, if I didn't really care about people, you're not doing it to care about other people. That's for your own branding. You want to be seen as a good person, but I've found most people who broadcast their supposed good deeds are not really good people. Corrupt. Wameiba, so they're trying to hide, or they've got into positions without actually earning them. So they're trying to hide under this, oh, I'm helping people. Oh, you know, imposter. Then there is imposter syndrome. No, the only reason you have an imposter syndrome is because you're an imposter. Hakunanga kitu ingine.
There's no proven financial benefit to pushing the narrative that white men are bad and that gamers are the problem.
Video games must change. Right now, there are too many white and too male. Like, who writes this in their minds and think? And these are mainstream publications. Let's read another one. Playing with privilege, the invisible benefits of gaming while male. Like, what is wrong with these people?
There clearly isn't a...
Gaming's toxic men explain. What are they start with experts? Just their goon friends. They try to call experts. Those are the most stupid people you've ever met. Experts tackle the phenomenon of angry men, trolls, racists, and misogynists who hover around the video game industry. No, they are the ones who make it relevant. They're the ones paying money into it and spending time to play. Like, you see the
financial gain from...
Look at diversity in the video game is surprised, not good. Is not good. The gaming industry has a diversity problem. It doesn't. It never had. You see, these people create a problem, then they come with a solution. Say, no, there's racism there, and here is my anti-racism brochure. It's such a grift. But then I always tell people, look, follow the money. Follow the money, or people telling you they're coming to save you. Why? Why? Like, I have to be honest with you. I've met like 2 or 3 honest activists. I have to be honest. And this one is where you go to the actual like orphanage and the person is there non-stop, just taking care of all these crazy kids, good kids, just sick kids, or they're just there. And I've met those ones are the real ones. Like, you know, tunakujana kwa TV, wako na social media hapa, ma TikTok. Nah. Especially these political types. You see, political activism is very easy because the fans come, you make noise on social media, you can promo your things, go to media, pay them, go say your things, money comes again. You don't have to do the actual work, you know. You don't have to go to the ground and create jobs. You know, you don't have to go to the ground and put up a hospital. No. That will be too much work and it will make you irrelevant. Because, you know.
From those pushing these woke agendas. So what's driving it? I believe
a little less white. If you replace that word white with any other, you realize how dumb the idea sounds. You know, you can't create special groups, then use them to argue like you are right. No, you created the special groups as your political and cultural and business tools to batter people with, you misogynist.
This comes down to the amazing human nature we all have, which is to try to dismantle systems we believe to be unjust. Humans, not all of us, but most of us, have this beautiful innate desire for justice. But this can only ever work against systems that actually exist. It's true that some gamers don't help disprove the accusations of systemic hatred within the gaming community.
It's a female talking to me right now! It's a female talking to me! Get off the game and do your husband dishes, bitch!
Toxic behavior is a widespread...
That's normal banter. If you can't take that, like, you want the entire world to change everything. Social media companies to ruin the user experience with the algorithm so that you don't listen to that. If you don't want, just go play a game where there's only piano going. so it's peaceful, or maybe there's some ocean background sound, do that. Don't just go around and say, now be so. When you get misogyny.
Issue across the internet.
Mtu akisikia mtu amesema misogyny mara mbili na row, huyo tumemalizana naye. Hiyo ni drone.
On virtually
Useless.
any platform where people can hide behind anonymous aliases. This is an internet-wide
May I say
problem,
everything
not a
with my face and
gamer-specific
name
one.
on it.
This idea for systemic hatred within the gaming community doesn't exist, but this
By
is
the
an
way, this is a
inconvenient
mic.
truth for
Not
those
everyone
pushing
may
this
hang up.
agenda. So good luck trying to convince them of that. Now, from their perspective,
Holy
this is
land.
why I believe that the
Black and
fight for
true.
wokeness is well intended by those pushing for it. There's a saying that always comes to mind when I see people like Kim Belair or Matt Hansen or any of these
Look, I also don't know those people, but you'll get it's all right.
progressives out there that are pushing for this. Hurting people hurt other people. When someone gets hurt, it becomes almost instinctive to lash
Okay, I really don't like that statement because it's used a lot by these two wokists. But it's kind of true, It you have witnessed non-men having to prove their non-men. They can't even say women. Oh my God. These people are insane. Non-men having to prove their game credential to be in the room being passed over for jobs and promotion even though they are more qualified than their cis male. They have these new to terms they sprinkle around. Oh God, cringe. Paid less, tokenized at gaming events are not. No, this is bitterness. I've actually done extensive research and there's nothing that happens like this. In the gaming industry, especially in creating games, characters, codes, nini, if you are really the guy, these people they'll stake you up, and there's nothing they're saying. The people who whine like this don't have the talent or the zeal to compete. That's what is going on here. So somebody like this who's calling, who can't even say women, Tinan men, they are trying to change even language. Imagine following such a person, then Titara Mustafa, she, her, like code and fond of code coven. Oh, cringe.
out. In environments of perceived injustice, people often can't help but try to fight back. And this is what I believe is clearly happening here.
No, they're pretending to make money. You see, this giving people reasonable doubt when you've seen years and years of evidence of their behavior. It's a cash grab. What are you talking about? No, they don't give a damn. It's a cash grab. And their ideology makes it possible for them to lord over other people to shut up as they're getting into positions they haven't earned, or getting some donations, or getting some exposure in the media, or being called this, or be given this award. Like, you think that's not motivation enough for people to do corrupt things while pretending they're helping? Like, this is such naivety sometimes. It's shocking.
Stuff up to your higher ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask...
This is one of those woke people being given jobs in this gaming industry to change the story and add their wokeism in there and their empowerments and blah blah. These ones. They have never written their own stories, by the way. They've never done. They're not in the business, but they are consultants in the business. Like, ni kama hapa tu watu wanapewa majobs zenye wako competent au hajaifanya. It's the same corruption. So this is I'm showing you this because it's the same things we suffer here. So don't feel it's far away. It's not. Actually, people consume a lot of these video games also locally here. It's a very big money. It's in billions of shillings. So don't sit around.
For research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
Now,
like, they're saying this in public. Like, why is this so difficult for people to see? I know when you're ideologically possessed with something, you think you're always right. You can't really see it. Sometimes I don't know why you can't though. It's so, yes, they're saying it. No, if you don't get what you want, go and use blackmail.
Now, I don't mean this in an insulting way, and my heart...
Stop with the disclaimers, boy. Just insult her already. Jesus Christ.
Genuinely goes out to these people. But I don't think it's a coincidence that many of the people pushing these narratives share certain traits. Why is it that the majority of those at the forefront of these movements are physically
Oh, this is so good. I told you guys, bull ring, some weird tattoos and colors and to this weird sexual kink bondage stuff, dog tag, whatever.
share certain traits? Why is it that the majority of those at the forefront of these movements are physically or socially unconventional or unattractive by societal standards? Or why is it that they often come across as unlikable?
You see, when this is it. You see, this is what most people don't want to accept. A lot of these people can't get any attention. So this is one way of getting attention, trying to act different and act saying you're special and oppressed, because now oppression is being special also. This is what these are just white mediocre people, as you can see. There's black ones, of course, but you know, population. The white people, the white woke ones, it's insane. If you just go to TikTok and watch this, these people have some of the stupidest ideas, but somehow, because they give someone attention, they become so seductive to the general population. And you see within us. Now, a couple of years back, or even before COVID, there was this 2-3 guys just running around wearing dresses. They were given some attention after a while, like the tall guy. But then where did the tall guy go? Your talent can't be tall, my friend. What do you do? I'm tall. So sahi ameanza kuanguka kwa machache. Na wacha anyway. Wacha kule hiyo physical hiyo.
I find it fascinating that so much of what they push seems to reflect their own personal grievances.
Yes.
They seem to want the gaming industry to look like them, or even to tear.
Yes, like seriously, they like them. They're intentionally making uglier characters because people want to feel. What's the word they use? Is it belong, or they want to feel seen? They have this word: feel seen, feel belong, feel like we belong. They use some words, but yeah.
Tear down anything.
So they like to create, like, they don't understand art sometimes is a lot of the times aspirational. I don't just see some pot-bellied guy there, just a normal guy sitting there acting. You know, I'm telling you, it becomes next door kind of bullshit, and it's not aspirational. It's just things. You know, it's not really, it won't tag on to the important things that we extract from art, you know, the expression of it. So you're creating uglier characters because you are ugly. You know, medium ugly, whatever. Why did people think you cannot fight against beautiful people in the looks department? We know that. Everybody knows that. Why are we pretending that you can be? Now I'm trying to behave like a handsome guy, you know. It won't work because the features are right there. Unless I do plastic surgery, and you know, but we can't fight.
It reminds them of
why
what
are you
they
trying to create ugly
might
characters?
envy or resent. Look at the push for female characters to be less attractive. Why is this
so
necessary?
weird. So
Is it truly
weird.
about representation, or is it about projecting personal insecurities? Or why is it that specific unlikable personalities that obviously reflect a specific type of person are being pushed into stories or narratives?
Yes, especially the heroes.
10 hours of Abby? 10?
Mel's pregnant.
Wait, what? Is that real? Yes, it's real. Yes. You're gonna play the next 10 hour...
This is called PewDiePie. I think he's the most subscribed to YouTuber of all time, I think. Still?
Many of these new characters seem to be written with abrasive...
Now that's the other thing. You know, there are various characters, but they'll force you to play with a woke character. They've created intentionally woke, maybe some transgender or some lesbian chick or some black character who's queer. They call it queer or gay. They'll just force you. Like, it's such a weird thing. It's so... How do they say? Orwellian. Like, now you are the one who's dictating how culture moves, how people must behave, what you must accept, and what they are telling you to accept is a lot of it is degeneracy and bullshit, and people's private life and sexuality is like, why do you want me in your business that much? Like, I don't want to be in your business. Just That's why I will fight very hard. Every environment around me, that woke stuff, sanitation. I've seen what is done to their kids. I've seen all these trans manenos. I'm telling you, if you value your family, watch a lot of these cartoons they watch, and there's a lot of these things being, you see, get them young. That's even for religion. Once you get someone young, it's very hard to get out of that mindset, because it becomes the entire reality, even if it's bullshit. Like, seriously, people.
Condescending.
Parents, I'm not one, but I'm giving you some si mnajua hii ni basics pa. Angalieni yuko ndani.
Or unlikable
Look
traits,
under the hood.
often portrayed as strength. Why also is strength increasingly depicted as being dismissive or outright rude? This often alienates players who want characters they can...
If this scene, I watched it, I think I'll have to play it. You listen to what they were saying on that scene. It's like... I don't know how to describe it. Like, if you go to one of these sessions, I've recorded one or two of these sessions where you have a lot of woke people in one place, activist types, trying to speak like they're so deep, you know, talking about their sexuality and being black and a woman and you know that. I have listened, like that scene, it felt so contrived, you know, like you're just forcing your activism in a product by force. It has very little, it adds very little to the story, to the plot, to even the character themselves. Just this arbitrary thing you slap at, okay, now, gay talk. It's so lazy also. It's so, my God, it's lazy.
Root for.
I don't understand this trend, like to make the main characters so
most of these people are like really big
like,
YouTubers
you grow to
and
like
gamers.
Them, but why start out like that? I don't really understand
We
it.
are not a moist
Again,
critical.
this might be obvious for a lot of you, but at its core, I think this push for wokeism in gaming is rooted in personal hurt. These individuals perceive injustices in the world around them, whether real or imagined, and are lashing out in the only way they know how. They're tearing down systems they...
Yeah, but these games, man, they look... Man, he gave me simulation technology.
don't feel a part of, but I'm doing...
I still take time to step back and marvel at the technology, you know. Like, how can you have this and you just put your nonsense stories?
So, they're causing harm to the very...
Ni kama kushoot script mbovu, river road kwa red.
Industry they claim to care about. Another thing that reaffirms this idea for me is that these people avoid any form of response or backlash by going into protection mode on their channels, or even blocking people that try to call them out. They don't want to converse. They want to attack and withdraw.
I wouldn't bother with conversing with them. You just do it. Just do what you need to do. Let them run their mouths. Let them shout. Let them be background noise to something great happen. Just ignore. Play your games, spend your money. Who gives a damn? They're useless. If a game brings you this nonsense or a movie, just ignore it. I mean, it's not difficult. Why do you want to converse with them? They don't want to listen. Have you ever tried talking an activist out of a position they hold, despite the facts being that the position he holds is wrong? Have you ever tried? Never. It can't happen. My thing is that you ignore them. Because they're bad for business. They're so arrogant, they'll actually destroy something because they don't want somebody else to earn or build something because it's against that ideology. But it's really just sour grapes and bile and envy and all those little green monster habits that we have. When it comes out now on a grand scale, this is what you get.
To avoid pain.
It shouldn't be difficult to understand.
Gaming should be a space for everyone, regardless of race, gender, or...
It's a space for people who can afford it, my friend. You guys need to stop with all this bullshit, pretentious behavior. No. Who can afford it, buy it. In Kenya here, we play the free games. We don't play the games that we buy. Like, come on now.
Or background.
But anyway, it's big in the West. You know, the Westerners... Your culture, how will it mess you up because they can't think straight.
Inclusion shouldn't
They're so apologetic every time trying to run, walk around, cultural landmines. So I would like to offend someone. Like, don't give a damn. Come on now.
In tearing down others.
Testicular fortitude, brother. You white people, you white men.
If anything, it should mean building something better for everyone. The way woke
there's nothing for everyone. What is this language? There's nothing for everyone. It doesn't matter what it is. Oxygen, food. That's it. But in terms of artists, art, and entertainment, and even food, everybody it's different things. Except these days, to me standard like smoking or boiled eggs. But there's nothing for everyone. It's an affordability issue, access issue, cultural issues, taste issues. There's so much that goes into what people gravitate to. So what people try to do is do something as standardized in taste as possible to try and get as big a population of people to, to want to play it or to watch it, because maybe it's addressing general human tendency or stories or dreams or aspirations. It does that. Not this one where, it's not for everyone. There's nothing for everyone.
Is being pushed is obviously doing a painful disservice to the people in these communities. Some may then ask, what about the rude, toxic...
People must let the market do its work. It doesn't lie. If people don't like something, they will not buy it. It's that simple. Like, if they can't afford it, they will not buy it most of the time. These days, nachukua fuliza. In their case, they have credit cards. But generally speaking, it's even worse. When somebody has to get into debt to buy something, they really want it. So you let the market do its work, but everybody's trying to insert that to politics and to feelings. So that you can't cater to everyone. Just do a good product, quality. Think about it critically. Do not just be captured by one ideology that keeps directing everything you do. Even sometimes when you hit a hole or a blind spot in your ideas, you lash out instead of trying to fill it with facts. Why do I have this break in this logic? You must be able to say, okay, maybe I'm wrong here, and then you try and fill that with the right information. Nona, Uncle Albert walesha ndio msikie bana. Nyinyi mnafuata tu vitu hapa na arrogance mingi na mshiki rada. Feelings kando kidogo.
Gamers that are so mean to me. Firstly, the cause and effect of going online is facing the RNG of toxicity.
Like, I don't understand people who post, especially famous people who post and they think, like, where am I? Like, if you say, because a lot of them say stupid shit so that they can be backlash. So they can have engagement. Then they come back and cry victim, which is more engagement. I hate that thing because it's become now one of the prime movers of these ideologies. People want engagement and attention. So even a stupid idea is just propagating because people want engagement.
Don't have to
go
online. You don't have to climb in the bath and bathe in the toxicity that people throw in it. If you don't like it, disconnect.
These ones don't want to disconnect and do their own things. They want everything to stop so that their feelings are not hurt. You came there to get your feelings hurt. Then you go cry that my feelings are hurt. But you see, this thing I'm speaking in dunia because it's also a lot here locally. Ukiingia social media, mtu anasema watu wanapenda post vitu za ujinga. And because personally, for me, I just say things the way they are. I don't care what people think. Like, we have to stop lying to ourselves and pretending to be nice. Oh, you look so lovely. No, she looks like shit. That's the truth. But everybody, oh, you look so lovely. Oh, you go, girl. Oh, jamaa mazee, uko poa. Sasa hiyo msee kipara anajaribu amekata kaka. Huyo msee This guy, that hairstyle was a criminal offense, I'm telling you.
Void it.
And why do people like broadcasting their private lives? It's so cringe and pathetic. You don't have talent to do anything else, do you? So lazima uende to the best instincts. Tuoneshe juu ya kupigana kitu na
If it affects you, stay away. You are doing yourself a disservice by going to the place that causes the most harm to you. When people
there's no harm. There's no harm being caused. People just want to control. They want control. They want you to react exactly how they want you to react on everything. You deviate kidogo. Oh, here, microaggression. Yeah, there are things like that. Microaggression. It's not a full aggression. Micro. So, this is macroaggression. All these ideas are stupid, but so many of you fall for them. Like, come on now.
Cameron Wild say that they
So
want
you
to
see it's everywhere. It's not
burn
just
the gaming industry to the ground. They're not actually saying they want to destroy gaming as a concept. What they're saying is they want to dismantle the culture.
They don't make the games. How can they? You see that arrogance again. They like coming in. You're going to change things around here. You know the way you've built something. Then somebody comes. Oh, we're going to change things around here. They were not there to begin with. They've never put a cent into it. No idea. No nothing. Then later, after it's made billions, now it's coming. No, we need this to change. We need it.
They believe gaming represents. To them, gaming isn't just an industry or a hobby. It's a symbol of everything they perceive to be wrong with the world. White male dominance, toxic masculinity, and exclusion. But here's the irony. The gaming industry has already evolved so much over the years. In the early days of gaming, the audience was predominantly male, and the games were designed to reflect that. But today, gaming is for everyone. We've seen the rise of well-written, diverse characters, inclusive storylines, and games that cater to a wide range of players. Women make up a massive portion of gamers now, and
it's not massive, it's just there. Maybe Candy Crush.
Developers are creating experiences that appeal to people.
Actually, they use data for Candy Crush to say the parity, to close the gap.
Of all ages, genders, and cultures.
They call
the
it
truth
the
is, gaming is already inclusive. The idea that gaming is a closed-off boys' club is now a lie.
It's always a lie, because you can as a woman you'd go and buy a game and say, no, you're a woman, you can't buy this game. No, never did. Like, people are just making up issues. No, it's because you found so many people were gravitating to, like, you see, like right now, you see, like, action films are primarily for men. Primarily, that's just a fact, males. But there are women who like action films. But generally speaking, if you made action films for women, they'll fail. And that's what has happened, because there isn't enough numbers to go and push the business. But if you make, you know how we do. Oh, everything, all these Avengers, we made that popular. We know that. Even people other came in, it's after we made it popular. Then you realize, God damn, that shit is dope. You know that. But these people like to force like women, and women just like the same things. We never have, and we never will. Well, I guess if they could do that hormonal thing population-wide, because it's possible. Now imagine if to convince you, no, you are too toxic as a man. We need to reduce your testosterone, which they've done in the West, by the way. By the time you see, like right now we are smack in the middle of all the revolutions in culture and technology, and it goes fast like that. Imeingia inafanya macalculations hivi, nyinyi mtawekwa chip hapa hivi Elon, mwambiwe what to do. You have hata mnaona vile mna make decisions.
The convenient method.
Some of you need just to be work on a program so you don't stray away and start destroying the world with your stupid decisions.
Made by those who want to justify their actions. And yet, despite this inclusivity, these same voices keep pushing for more radical changes. Why?
Yes,
because their fight isn't about inclusion. It's about erasure. They want to erase what gaming is, and the culture that gaming was built on, even if it means alienating the core audience that has supported the industry for decades. Take, for example, the attack on what they call toxic masculinity in gaming. There's nothing wrong with having games...
Or another word, if it's used loosely, I dismiss the person, sexism.
Feature strong masculine heroes.
All these ideas have just been seen to... It didn't take long, 20 years, they've realized it's bullshit. Hajengi kitu. It's just a thing there that's being used by the elites to split people up. So kila mtu juula na make no couple. Because if you look at even all these activists, ni wale tu wajua wanakula hiyo pesa ndio unaona wanakimbia na hizo makelele mingi. Oh, sexism, oh, nyef.
Just like there's nothing wrong with having games that feature diverse, complex, or unconventional characters. It seems as though narrative writers
That's natural. It's always existed in storytelling. And I don't know why these people keep repeating it like it's such revolutionary knowledge. No. That's the bottom line. Have you watched The Usual Suspects? Omera, have you watched The Usual Suspects? I'm asking you, this is Omera here. Complex characters have always existed, man.
And this agenda have no idea how to actually write a good, compelling story.
That's the crux of it. They can't do it. They can't write the stories, so they try to pass off their weak stories as good ones. So when people tell them no, they are not good, mnaitwa misogynist and sexist and all those other things. They can't write good stories. The ideology requires that you shoehorn lesser talent because of inclusivity. So that's what you get, lesser talent that can't weave a story without having to try and jump away from the landmines they've created themselves. No, the gay person can't do, the black person can't do this, the woman can't be this, and so they try. And, it's pushing this stereotype like
the service to yourself.
Like they take the fun out of everything, and they don't replace it with anything better. It's just crap. And people's egos and pretense and lies.
Because what you are writing is boring and it detracts from the games that you work on.
Yes.
This brings us to another question.
Boring.
Why is the gaming industry so vulnerable to these attacks? Part of the reason is that gaming is an easy
and that's
target.
also for movies.
It's a massive, visible industry with a
just like movies, TV, and all
passionate and vocal fan base, and a huge portion of it is white males. If you want to make headlines or
By the way, I was telling people, because right now, if somebody tries to tell me that I attack white males, do you know white males in this world, the number one most valuable economic entity? If they buy your stuff, you make it. Imagine, you see, and it's not saying this just as a business person, it's already dumb that you do it. Secondly, you're making sweeping assumptions about people you've never met, or whose culture you've decided to dismiss, despite you or everybody using what they're making. Like you're just trying to be pretentious. That's what I don't like about it. And in that miasma, what they've done is they've created kind of this super villain, creator person who runs everything, super dictator who runs everything. And it's not true. There are a lot of mediocre white people, white men. There are a lot of corrupt white men. This just the same way there's a lot of mediocre Asians and Africans and corrupt. But you're trying to single out them because they've built something now. I totally refuse. And I will not be pulled into all these stupid arguments you woke people have. Some of you Africans, the white man, and your guy over here is stealing all the money. Your guy is one who's going there to Biden. Biden. What are you guys talking about, man? There's no white man stopping you. You're just a dumbass. And you can't work for it. You don't want to go through the labor that has put these people at the top. Who have you conquered lately? Technologically, ideologically, what have you done? You're just taking bullshit from Maju and just recycling it and to cool it to scale. Like, you can't even discern some of these things. Some of you watch news too much. That's why you can't think. Everything is fed to you. Oh, this is the way it is. Oh, femicide is killed. Everybody's going to die. Like, you can't think out of it. Because some of these people, when you argue, you don't know anything. You're watching mainstream media and you think you know everything. You're worse than somebody who doesn't watch that stuff. Because they're not poisoned with the lies and the propaganda which has made you so arrogant you think you know everything. And that has come all the way. It's not just the woke people just doing it extra now. But I meet that all the time with religious people who think they know everything because they just somehow got to believe something that was brought to them and they can't really think through it. Everybody's a literalist. Alifanya, hakufanya, hujui kitu. Umeambiwa tu.
Gaming is the perfect platform. But there's another reason too. Many gaming companies are afraid of bad press.
I go on a tangent.
They've seen what happens when social media mobs go after a developer or publisher. They've seen the boycotts, the X or Twitter storms, and the headlines calling them problematic. So instead of standing their ground, these companies bend the knee. They hire consultants to audit their...
And that noise is never usually real. It's people who've created different accounts and bots and what, with a little money from the organizations, and then they start to push the thing. This person is toxic, it's what, this thing, then personally, if people do that, I'm like, please continue. Yeah, you're making it more popular, and I'll continue to tell them off. Because a stupid idea is a stupid idea. Fake people are still fake. It doesn't matter. Once you know the core of it, just don't give a damn. Just be honest about it. Just don't pander. Don't be afraid to push, to ignore stupid ideas and ignore stupid people. Dishonest, corrupt, stupid people. Don't be afraid of that. And part of this video is to continue this my fight against these Western ideologies that are infringing upon our rights to creativity. Woke language. They're infringing against that. You see, they make it that you pay a price for not following their ideologies. And I said no. That means you can feed me any bullshit and you think I'll follow because I seen enough food. Like, fuck you. I'm not doing it. No one should do it. But I know a lot of you have already sold out. Some of you have did it. That's how this ends, by the way. You have to bow every time to get some little funding. That's how it ends. You become an entity, just following people from behind with their stupid ideas. They are making money, but they just follow you. One day the white man.
And inclusion policies.
I find that
not
so
knowing
cringe.
that these consultants are birthed out of this desire to eradicate a systemic problem that never existed in the first place. They change their hiring practices even if it means breaking the law, just to avoid being labeled as regressive. But here's the thing. As
I have not cared about being labeled your Miambak. I've never cared for such a long time. Like the people who call me such things or call other people, they're such losers. Such unimpressive human beings who do next to nothing except non-stop trying to stop people from building. They're extremely bad faith political operators. That's who they are. If you don't know, you should know. A lot of these ideologies have been filtered down from very, very powerful people. Powerful and corrupt. You should really think about it because a lot of you don't want to really do that work of thinking deeper into ideas. You just want the surface level that makes you feel good. No, it does. The world doesn't work like that. And in everything we do, we must always try to interrogate how good an idea is before you take it up, if at all, or even just to know what's going on.
This is
a long video, I know, but it's important.
Gaming companies and developers ultimately rely on us, the players, to survive.
Yeah.
This means
just
our
don't buy
voices,
that
choices,
goes away.
and most importantly, our wallets matter more than any agenda being pushed by a vocal minority. The key to keeping the people who harm this industry in check is simple. Don't support them. Legends like Smash JT, Grums, and Asmongold are prime examples of how gamers can push back. These individuals aren't just outspoken critics, they represent the voice of the average gamer.
And I can tell you, you can go check all the metrics for all these people that don't support this bullshit. They're always, because there are a lot more people that are sober-minded than narcissistic pieces of shit who want people to follow their stupid ideas and try to impose them, try to take away their jobs, try to shadow ban them. We use social media for business. So you shadow ban me because of your stupid Western ideologies. So that I bow to you? Are you serious? You're not smart enough for that. You don't have the acumen for that. You can't make me your follower. Because you are not really that guy. You're not that person. Most of your ideas are weak. They're destructive. They're ignorant. They've not been thought through properly. Every time you ask a question, you have emotional outbursts, so that you refuse, so that you're not able to answer the questions. Because goddamn, these ideas are stupid, but we are making money. And I'm getting some social acceptance on this weird. Like, why would you people want to be? You saw that those groups of people that you're there. Why would you want to be associated with such? Why? Why is that attractive to you? Like, why aren't you thinking, why do I have these weird people teaching me what to do? Let me see. It's someone. Sorry. Okay, let me go. So, why would you want that? Refuse.
Pirate Software once said about Asmongold.
So Asmongold has always been a thing that, like, some people really like him, some people
I
really
watch
don't
him
like
also.
him. I like
Asmongold.
him. I've always liked him. I like
he
his
does
content
diverse
for a reason.
videos, but he
And
leans
it's very
more
important.
gaming.
Asmongold is the consumer.
Yes.
Asmongold is the player.
That's how YouTubers and what became popular, because their people represent actual people on the ground. It's not because there's this elitist thinking usually of corporate people that they think they want to dictate to you what you should think, how you should do it, and then they have this habit of trying to act like they know everything. Even if you just do a little investigation into who they are and what they do, you realize these are paperweight. Paper giants has been blown up in the media. You realize they don't know much. They haven't really built much. That's the issue we have. And a lot of these, like Hollywood people and who have made a lot of money, and now you've come to this side when you've made the money. You haven't made anything great in 2 decades. Somehow you think you're going to walk around and tell me what kind of politics I should have, what kind of social interactions I should have, and how. Who the fuck are you? You are just some degenerate, drug-infused Hollywood degenerate. Like, who are you, man? Like, back the fuck up already. We are not. This game is over. Nobody's going to be dictating to me how I do things, Bwana. We are not stupid. Because the problem with these woke Westerners, they think we are stupid, and we need their ideas and their little funds as they come here and live lavishly, traveling the world, pretending they're saving the people. Get the fuck out of town. The consumer is king.
Everyone's feedback.
I don't know why everybody keeps pretending that this poor person or the guy in Umoja or Langata or whatever who comes to pay for your movie isn't the most important, even if you have more money than them or a bigger name. Those are the people who keep you relevant. And if you take the advice because I've seen people do that here. But your Kenyans don't love their own. No, they do. You just maybe didn't market enough or you didn't meet the threshold. They are showing you that your shit is crap. That's what they're saying. Because also a lot of us, for example, I did a review about some Netflix series Kenyan coming up. Like, if you release a series on Netflix, it's no longer you're competing with the Mwala over here. Na hizi mashow za NTV na nini. You're competing with everything on Netflix. So there's no excuses. You can't tell people, no. And people don't give you, what I actually hate is those sympathy views. Ni Mkenya tu, like, wacha tuone. There's no money in that. There's no money in that. You have to wow the people. It's not rocket science. It's really quite basic. I promise you that.
Everyone's anger, everyone's rage, everyone's happiness over the things that you make. Asmongold is those things. He's the voice for all of them. And if you don't listen to him as a game developer, then you're not listening to your community.
The same applies to Grums and Smash JT. They're not part of some corporate machine or agenda-driven movement. These individuals remind us that we don't have to accept the erosion of gaming culture. At the end of the day, the gaming industry will survive this push for wokeism. We've already seen a steer away from it. Gamers are saying no. We've seen it with the backlash of poorly received games that put politics before gameplay. We've seen it with the success of indie developers or smaller developers who refuse to cave to social pressure.
Hey, some of these games, man. Look at this shit, man. Look at this.
And we've definitely seen it in the sales numbers. Games that prioritize fun, creativity, and storytelling consistently outperform those that try to preach or push an agenda.
Yes. These guys, they put a black guy in Japan as a samurai, man. Like, they ruined that perfectly. If it's I think the game is done very well. I don't think it's out there. Some trailers and gameplays out there, but they ruined this goddamn thing. They ruined the business of, like, why do they always have to take blacks and place them in Viking during the time when there was no black person in Belgium or Sweden or whatever? Like, Ukoma BC, you just place a black character there. That's the queen. Like, why can't you just place them here in Yamataru? Or Nyakoe over here, ama Kitusuru, ama whatever. Put them right here. Like put them in their place. Unless, of course, you have a proper motivation, not just that now we need diversity. So let's put a black guy in a Japanese game as the main character. Like, that's just, I feel so insulted in so many of these things. I'm just like, okay. Anyway, it's my work as a producer also to try and counter this by producing. Yes. To cook Jikon. Jikon, we are cooking.
This is why the white men are bad narrative is so baffling. White men make up a significant portion of the gaming audience.
Imagine you're made not significant. It's if you are to distill all these groups racially, if you want, they are the most economically viable, without an argument. Maybe you could add in the Japanese and Chinese, the men especially, because they have like the Chinese have a really huge middle class, over 300, 400 million people. So that one, but their buying power is not like these Europeans and Americans. Just the way the dynamics are, how they are, their currency, what economics, whatever. But why would you want to particularly alienate that unless it's intentionally they're trying to bring down all these products, and the businesses?
Importantly.
But why? Why?
Gamers as a whole are incredibly diverse. The only thing gamers care about is whether a game is good. They don't care about the race, gender, or politics of the developer.
A movie. I enjoyed Rambo. I enjoyed a lot of Jackie Chan movies, Bruce Lee, za kitambo. I've also enjoyed the black series, some za kitambo, just za kitambo kidogo. Then they started just everything black has to have this woke crap. So the Americas really beat, but if you look elsewhere, that's what I'm telling you, like they've already kind of closed us into this kind of storytelling only. That's why, by the way, I at least Kenya ijaguzwa sana, except Gitosha alieka ile ujinga yake LGBTQ kwa ile series yake volume. But other people have avoided that. There's a lot of people doing, women empowerment stories, nini. All those kind of fall off because they're very preachy, and the scripts, of course, they're boring and creative, and you know what's going to happen next, and dialogue is crap, and the entire
about
thing.
The experience. When companies alienate their audience in the name of wokeness, they're not striking a blow for justice. They're shooting themselves in the foot.
Yes.
So then what's the solution? How do we push back against this wave of wokeism without falling into the same trap of anger and division? I think it starts...
What the hell is this anger and division? Like, this guy is already infected. He thinks none of that is there. These are made up. There's normal anger and normal division as has always existed because we are tribal. So stop talking about like you guys are creating there's no such utopia is what you've created.
We need to recognize that the people driving these narratives aren't necessarily
the interactions between races. It's fucking stupid.
Some of you out there who will disagree with me on this, but I believe that many of them genuinely believe they are doing the right thing.
No, they don't. This is the naivety I keep on telling about this guy. They're doing it for money. It's simple. They don't care about whether it's no. They want to take over and make more money and have more power and make more money. Stop being this naivety. This is now this how do you call olive branch? No, they don't care. You've seen it. They genuinely don't care. They want the cash and the power that comes with it. Grow up, brother.
They've been told their whole lives that the world is unfair and that they're fighting against oppression.
I don't care. No, it's a lie. They know it's a lie. They're there because they make money. Simple.
See themselves as heroes in their own stories, and while their methods may be
they're
harmful,
self-absorbed
their motivations
losers.
Come from a place of pain. But that doesn't mean we should let them control the narrative. As gamers, we need to stand up.
No, you see, you're allowing it by always just trying to be apologetic. Or I think they're not being honest. That's your problem. You think they're being honest. No matter what it is, man.
For the things we love. We need to support developers who prioritize creativity and fun over politics. We need to speak out when we see bad ideas being pushed. But we also need to do so with respect and logic, not anger. We need to
I don't care so much about respecting people who don't respect me, or no. Respect is earned. If they respect, they get respect back. If there's something to be angry about, you get angry and tell people to fuck off. As I keep saying, everybody wants to play this nice card. There's no nice man card over here. That's why nyinyi ma geeks, feminine males, you always, so that they know they can lean on you and you start apologizing. Nonsense.
Try and avoid stepping down to their level. Most importantly, we need...
No, I'll go down that level and just smack the living shit out of all of them.
To remind the industry...
there is no going back.
Of what gaming is really about. Gaming is about escapism. It's about connecting with others.
Yeah, so don't try to bring this bullshit in. If the escapism is been ruined by this apologetic behavior of such people, allowing people to just come in there and install their bullshit ideologies, then they force you to follow them. Then now you have to try to fight back, but not too hard. No, I refuse.
It's about exploring new worlds, telling incredible stories, and experiencing things we never could in real life. It's not about
movies also.
Identity politics, social engineering, or rewriting history. It's about fun. I'm gonna...
Okay, he's going on to now start this... So this is the kind of things that are going on out there. So I hope you mkwe na macho when you're creating your things, when you're creating your art. You try to be honest. Try to be an honest creator. Don't try and shoehorn ideologies because it will get you funding or followers. You have followers or funding or fans because your art is legit and it's entertaining and it's captivating. Do that. Try this stuff and mtaona nyiwa. Kaeza mjaanza kuteza pesa kwa mamovies vizuri. Mmeanza kuingisha hizi vitu. Try not to. Absolutely. I tell you. Ujaribu hii hata ile ulikuwa nafikiri umeanza kutengeneza, it goes away because fans will hate you. The few we have will just hate us. I'm curious to see your volume icon and how many watch hours on Netflix. You know we never have these numbers. I don't know why. You need to know these things so that you can know whether you're doing the right thing, you know. Sawa. Otherwise, what did you think of this long ass rant / reaction? Watch a comment, subscribe, share, like, fanya hizo vitu zote mzuri. Pia you can follow me on the other socials, X Alboa Cinema, TikTok Alboa Cinema 254, alafu Facebook pia kuna Alboa Cinema, Instagram Alboa Cinema. Tuko kila pahali. Hata niko LinkedIn lakini I don't care about that. It's full of fake people.